Glewlwyd Gafaelfawr, brave grey mighty grasp, is a hero, warrior and porter in tradition and Arthurian mythology, in which he appears as a knight in Arthur's retinue and chief gatekeeper of his court. He is one of the earliest characters to be associated with Arthur and appears in a number of texts, including Culhwch, Olwen, Geraint, Erbin, Iarlles y Ffynnon, Porthur and the Welsh Triads. Role in Welsh tradition. Culhwch, Olwen, and Porthur, after being cursed by his stepmother such that he may marry no one but Olwen, daughter of the giant Erbin. Culhwch seeks assistance from his cousin Arthur to win her hand in marriage. He arrives at his court at Culhwch but is denied by the Glewlwyd, the chief porter. Culhwch threatens to wreak havoc unless he is granted entry to the court, and eventually Glewlwyd relents. In a bombastic speech given in this tale, Glewlwyd recounts his history to Arthur, in which he claims to have been in different exotic locations across the world and otherworld, often alongside Arthur. This passage is closely related to the narrative of the 10th century poem Porthur, What Man is the Porter, in which Glewlwyd is the titular gatekeeper of fortress to which Arthur and his men are seeking admittance. To prove the right of entry, Arthur relates the feats and achievements of his men, particularly those of Culhwch and Bedwyr. Later on in Culhwch Olwen, Glewlwyd leads his servants during the hunt for the man-turned-boar, and 3 of them, who wander, are killed in the process, mortally wounded by the quarry. Glewlwyd is left with Culhwch, a man who was no use to anyone, as his sole remaining servant. Other appearances. Glewlwyd is named twice in the Welsh Triads. He is listed as one of the 24 ordained knights of Arthur's court and is regarded as one of the 3 offensive knights of Arthur's court, alongside Sandolph and Morfrin. They are known as the offensive knights because it is repugnant to anyone to refuse them anything. Sandolph because of his beauty, Morfrin because of his ugliness, and Glewlwyd because of his size and his strength and his ferocity. Quote, he is further named as the lover of Dyfyr Golden Hair, one of the 3 famous maidens of Arthur's court. In The Lady of the Fountain, the tale of the knight Olwen, Glewlwyd is present at Arthur's court at Culhwch, once again in the role of gatekeeper, greeting guests and foreigners, beginning to honor them, telling them the customs and habits of the court, and informing those who had the right to go to the hall or chamber who merited lodging. Quote, in the romance of Geraint Erbin, Glewlwyd is once again chief gatekeeper at Culhwch, although it is stated he did not trouble himself over this service except on one of the 3 important festivals. During the rest of the year, his duties are shared by his 7 assistants: Grin, Penpingion, Clysgeman, Gogifulk, Gwrdnei Catai, Dremap Dremedith and Clasfab Clasfenid. Glewlwyd is further mentioned in satirical 15th of 16th parody, Araith Ilogog, in which a certain amorous-mannered, grief-pallid, pale-cheeked youth from Gwynedd seeks the heart of a maiden from Powys. In a conversation between the lady and her suitor, Glewlwyd's great strength is alluded to. Glewlwyd is described as the man who lifted the cauldron down from the fire with one hand in the court of Tron of the 3 islands of Britain, with the sliced meat of 7 oxen boiling in it. Whether or not this refers to a genuine tradition concerning Glewlwyd's exploits, or is merely an invention on the author's part, is unknown.